Tesla below 295. Nvidia, where's the Netflix? No, it's headed there, but it's not there. All right, guys. Well, in the meantime, just get your 285 puts ready. That's what I have ready for Tesla. I think I'm going to play this low.
Market's pushing
Yeah,
Tesla's down.
that's what I'm considering.
I'll be convinced more if we can get it close below 294 below before the 293 break.
I need to see what happens here with the market. Don't fat finger this. Yo, cover me. I gotta set an alert.
This is really close.
I know, I know. I said it. We're good. My alert's at 293.42.
But the market is just all over the place right now.
Yeah, the market looks like a barcode here, bro.
They're waiting for
Yeah.
fucking Powell to speak, bro. His old ass.
There's like a lot of news at 10 as well.
Apple's coming back up. 208.
I don't think I want to do that to myself today.
Situation we are in. But if increases in prices affect wages, which further affect prices, helped by a resilient domestic. But as I
Remember, we're
said,
looking
it's
at
still
285
somewhat
puts
below
on
2%.
Tesla.
Then there's
You have
going
to
to be
debate
perhaps a
scalp
second
this or
component,
not.
which
I
will
think I'm
be
just gonna
the
scalp, guys.
expected negative effects of possible tariffs on the
We're starting
economy
to
and
hold here below
prices.
280,
We are
295.
expecting this to take place, but we haven't seen that yet. There's a third component, which is
283.42
domestic
is my
supply
entry.
shock
That's my alert.
generated by increases in food prices. Actually, this
293.42.
component
The puts I'm gonna get is
accounts for
285.
about 50% of the headline inflation we've got at the moment. So netting
This
these
can happen
three,
quick, be careful.
we think the first component and the second component will.
That was so close to triggering.
Yeah, either way, I got upside play ready and downside play ready. Yo, I need to get Newsbot ready. So I'm not gonna be looking at you guys typing in the stock chat for now. I just need to see what's going on, alright? He's talking, yes.
Yeah. Then we have IS or PMI
describing, and we need some more information to determine that.
President Lagarde, when you look at rate cuts, I mean, are we gonna? Where do you see actually the ECB going? You're in a pretty comfortable position right now, out of all the central banks.
Data will tell. So I think we are
Upside is
determined
way
to
better.
continue to be data dependent.
I'll let you guys know in a second. It won't be 300 though. It'll be the 300 level possibly. Yo, George, Frankie, just let me know if you guys need me in the stocks chat. I'm not watching.
I had the news bar pulled up as well.
Alright.
Nah, you're good.
We need to see like above 297, right? The upside look good.
Whoa, brother. That's early.
No, like not traded there. Like we need to see it hold above that.
Oh, yeah. 297.62. It's really above the open
Monitoring
price.
particularly what does show up in terms of inflation or what does not show up, and also careful. You know, we watch very carefully for signs of unexpected weakness. We see a gradual cooling, but we don't really see that yet. So those are the things we'll be watching. But as I mentioned, a majority of us do feel that will be appropriate in the remaining 4 meetings of the year to begin to reduce rates again.
Madame Lagarde, the euro has also surged about 12% against the dollar so far this year. Are you concerned that its strength runs counter to your efforts to also loosen financial conditions?
You know, I'm not going to comment on the exchange rate. We take it into account for purposes of our projections. Obviously, it has an impact, but it's a reflection of the market conditions and assessment. It's also a reflection of the strength of our economy. But there has been a clear appreciation relative to the dollar, and depending on how you look at it, it's either a depreciation of the dollar or an appreciation of the euros. And there might be a bit of both in that particular case. We're also looking at the movement, the flow of capitals and the attractiveness of euro-denominated assets, which is also an interesting phenomenon that we've observed lately.
Chair Powell, I mean, is it fair to say, I know, nothing is guaranteed, number one, we all know this. Barring a real surprise, is July just too soon to seriously even consider a rate cut?
Yeah, I really can't say. It's going to depend on the data, and we are going meeting by meeting. I mentioned, how I'm thinking about that, but I wouldn't take any meeting off the table or put it directly on the table. It's going to depend on how the data evolve.
Governor, what's the biggest risk stemming from protectionist trade policy, actually, for the global economy and for South Korea's?
Can you just...
The biggest risk stemming from trades and protectionist measures?
You know, Korea has quite an export-driven economy. So whatever the global fragmentation is a serious impact, not only direct impacts through the U.S. tariff, but also indirect impacts through China, Mexico, Canada. And we easily can, it really depends on what's going to happen on July 9th. We are actually waiting for the result, but we don't know what's going to happen. But for example, like if the tariff goes back to 26% retaliatory tariff that was announced in April 2nd, and then also with a lot of sectoral tariff which affect our economy, aluminum, steel, and cars, we can easily say that it has impact larger than close to 1% in our GDP growth rate. And depending on how long it lasts, I think we have to adjust to the new supply chain, so the impact will be larger. So, but I hope that scenario won't come.
What is the most concern for the Bank of Korea? Is it a stalling South Korea exports, slowdown in global trade, or a downturn in the U.S. economy?
It's all linked, right? It's all linked, right? So the global economy slow down. And one thing, I mentioned some negative sides only, but one positive side, I don't know if it's positive or not, but Korean companies has been preparing for the supply diversification long time ago before the tariff, U.S. tariffs start to, because we have some issues with China, and then also Chinese industry has become very competitive. So we had to relocate our production site from China to elsewhere. So relatively speaking, we are well prepared. And second, still good thing is that we have some strong industries such as semiconductor, which benefit from the AI technology development. So I hope that we can manage it. But on the other hand, given just we look at the sheer size of the export dependence, we will be significantly affected.
Governor Bailey, do you think interest rates will be closer to 3 or 4% at the end of the easing cycle, given all of the inflation and trade dynamics?
That's a subtle way into the R-style question, actually, I would detect. So look, I'm fairly cautious about the whole discussion of the level of R-star and therefore sort of where rates are going to reach in the cycle. There is huge uncertainty around it. What I think is important, and what we spend our time looking at, is how restrictive is policy, both now and going forwards. And our staff do a huge amount of work on that front to judge the restrictiveness of policy in the current context, and how restrictive it's going to be looking forwards if you project forward with the market curves. And the assessment we've got at the moment is that policy remains restrictive. It will continue to be restrictive, although the level of restrictiveness will come down over time, which is what I would expect. So I would expect that level of restrictiveness to come down to a point where it goes more neutral. But I think you have to judge that in context. Just to give you an example of that in the UK economy, the level of household and corporate debt in the UK economy is actually lower than we would have expected it to be, but based on past experience. So again, that feeds through into just how restrictive policy is at a given interest rate. It's somewhat less restrictive probably than it would have been historically.
Could I ask all of you actually thoughts on the neutral rates? Chair Powell.
Thoughts on the neutral rate? So I think there are countless empirical and theoretical ways to derive it. At the end of the day, I think I like to look at the economy and ask whether our policy stance is having the effects we expect and want on the economy. And to me, I would say we're somewhere probably modestly restrictive at this level. And by some formulations, we're more restrictive than that. But if you look at the economy, growth has been solid. The labor market is solid and still at historically low levels of unemployment. It's not an economy that feels like it's suffering from very tight monetary policy, but I would say that policy is still restrictive.
President Lagarde?
I would say that it's a nice concept. It's interesting, and many of the terribly talented and brilliant economists in this room actually are delighted with discussion about the neutral rate. But honestly, as we're getting closer to target and to where we should be, or are where we should be, and I don't want to pass judgment on that, I think that discussion becomes less relevant. I think what our staff at the ECB measures leads us to believe that it is higher than where it was before the great financial crisis, but it's relatively low as well, compared, for instance, with what the US neutral rate is at the moment. But it's, in a way, it's a bit of an illusion to discuss that at the moment, because the neutral rate is normally defined in a world where there is no shock, where you have perfect equilibrium. Now, are we in a world with no shocks at the moment? I don't think so. So it's nice to have as a concept, nice to elaborate on it, nice to do research on it, but to use it at the moment where we are as a guiding principle to where we should be, I don't think is particularly appropriate.
Andrew Bailey?
Well, that sort of continues what I was saying earlier. Again, I don't use it as a sort of a guide to where policy should be, but I think this whole concept of restrictiveness is of course critical to our judgment, because that's critical to the transmission mechanism of policy, which we have to judge every time we meet. So that's a judgment that, in a sense, we renew every meeting we have. I think I rather agree with what Jay was just saying. I think in our case, policy is restrictive at the moment. It's going to become less restrictive based on the curve that we've got in the market. That's what I would expect. We will judge it each time.
Governor Rhee?
350. 350 is the target, as in we need that to break. That's the breakout. 350, the stock price. Yeah, it's over. We got it. All right, guys. You can. Oh, there it goes. Boom. Big move. All right, now you guys can choose to scale out. Frankie and George, let them know. I had a rough day yesterday.
I got half left. I've sold half already.
All right.
I was planning to sell everything at 301.
I'm gonna sell half of what I have at 301, and I'm gonna rock the rest, Norm.
All right, cool. I gave you guys a recovery play there. You could choose where you want to sell it, or you could follow George or Frankie here on what their plan is.
I'll say it again. I'm selling everything at 301.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm not selling.
Right there.
Y'all can do what y'all want with that info. But I'm biased. I lost
That's
90K
where I sold
yesterday.
personally.
Sold half there.
You sold, Frankie?
Yeah, 301 was my first and only target on this.
Nice.
I still have half left. I haven't seen the bid above. And there it goes. I just sold another quarter there. So I got a quarter left.
Beautiful.
Can we get a load?
That's what I like to call fucking teamwork, baby boy.
Oh man, let's go. Nice.
I'll probably sell the rest of what I got it for at 302.
Same, Benji, same.
302 is my final target, but that doesn't mean hold there, baby. Market's pulling back. All right, guys. I just sold half. That was a nice move, right? All right. Did you get in early with me or no? Yeah. All right.
You only sold half, right, Norm?
Yeah. It
Okay,
actually
so that's
technically
over here.
didn't even sell yet. Oh, there it did.
Oh my lord, and
Oh.
I still haven't sold the last quarter, bro.
All right, my last order's trying to fill at $5 right here, guys. But that's me getting fucking greedy. But fuck it, we going for it. For me, I have $5 trying to fill for the rest of my contracts. That's how you. Oh, it's over. It's about to fill right here. I just need. Yeah, boom.
There you go.
Shake that shit, baby. I sold.
Hell yeah.
Bro, when I know that shit like the back of my hand, bro. W's in the fucking chat until we break Discord. W's in the chat. Break the fucking Discord. There's not one person on this earth that knows Tesla better than me. Elon doesn't know Tesla better than me. W's in the chat till we break Discord.
And I just sold right there.
George always doing some selfish shit, bro.
I told you I was holding right there.
W's. I know Discord slows down because we're streaming, but speed that shit up. W's. Break it. Yes. Beautiful. All right, boys, girls. I had a rough day yesterday. I don't know if you guys peeped, but it is what it is. I'm not a robot. I still slip up once or twice a month like a normal person. But yesterday's slip up was highly based on it being the last day in the month, and I was really going for that 550 mark. And that's what happens when you go for that 550 mark. Learn from me, all right? All you could do is
What
learn
you're
from me.
saying is my target was spot on though.
No, I hit that shit yesterday. That's the fucking crazy
That's what I'm
part.
saying. My target was spot on.
I was at like 545 yesterday, and then the fucking demon took over my body. Bro, I was here all day, bro. I couldn't sleep last night because of my stupid ass mistakes.
That was nice. That's
Yeah,
a
I need,
damn
and I
good
couldn't even
trade,
take
bro.
a smoke break.
Yeah, that was
I didn't move from this fucking desk till 4 p.m., bro. And then I only, bro. You don't even know what happened. I got margin called yesterday.
Oh my god.
I was in QQQ right before the crazy shoot up, bro. It went from 500 to 503. I had 700 contracts. They margin called me and sold at 3:15 p.m. instead of 3:45. Nigga.
Hey, look at
10
these.
Wait, what the fuck do you mean?
10,
margin call?
10 minutes later, I would have been 200 up 200K.
Margin call means
Oh.
so much is down.
It's same day contracts, bro. They fucked me yesterday.
Sell for you.
What?
Yeah, because they expire same day. I had QQQ same day contracts, so I got fucked. I wasn't playing like no. If they expire, I would have been playing with their money. So they don't let the contract expire.
Type shit.
Basically,
You
that's
weren't
them,
happy, bro.
that's them telling
700.
you.
It was only 90K.
Yeah,
Really?
you're
Yes.
way too risky. we don't like the risk.
Trying to send my feels, but the chat's still going, Nor.
Nah, no, bro. But yeah, yesterday was a struggle mentally. Yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, mentally, I was about to check myself in. Rehab or some shit.
Market pulling back heavy here. Tesla still holding up.
What are we doing, Frankie?
Yo.
What's the moves, baby boy?
Bro, I think that's it for me.
Now it might be that's it for me too, cause I
We
reset
said that
my.
yesterday and we got punished for it.
Wait, let me just
not-
let the. Yeah, I got punished bad yesterday. Yo, chat, let me just let you guys know. I reset my account to 100K. So I'm just letting. Yo, Solo, my guy. I look at your shit every morning, but I reset my account to 100K yesterday. Obviously, I've been taking money out all month because of the profits. But now I'm only at 100K. Obviously, 116 now after today's profit. So 16K off of 100K. I made 16% on the account. That's not how I do math, like when people ask me, but I'm just letting you know what's going on, keeping you updated. Someone said one more trade.
Those are my
Um,
fills right there. The buy was 392.
I'll show you mine. Wait, what? What contracts you bought? 315s?
310.
Wait, how though?
You know me.
Wait, what?
I took it at 299.
Yo, this nigga cheated.
Yeah, see, bro, I told you.
Yo, son, I went in early. Yo, look at my fill.
Yeah.
Wait, no, wait, I'm lying. I'm lying.
Me for this. It's crazy.
Hold up.
Well, that was nice. Apple's decent. Got a really late fill. Didn't make much off it, but it was alright. And then I missed Tesla at 300, but it's alright. Nothing crazy. Yeah, I'm done for the day now. Peace.